that leaders perhaps struggle with this? I don't know what's been your take on it, and I don't want to generalize, but perhaps even if you've seen leaders who do make the time, right? So let's talk a little bit about what have you seen there, and what generally kind of comes in the way for senior leaders. We're going to come to Gen Z in a moment, and even for any success stories that you can think of, what do they do differently when you think about reading?
Okay, so Nikhil, in my kind of work, I come across many authors from all kinds of domains they come from, especially from corporate side. There are some who are my mentors as well, who are authors, whom I believe they are truly remarkable, very curious even at this age and stage. The first name that comes to my mind is R. Gopalakrishnan, who was the Tata Vice Chairman. What a remarkable gentleman. He writes a book almost every 6 months, one new book, and every book is different. So much so that I'm reading his latest book, which is a biography of Jamsetji Tata, and it's just not a biography, but it's about the corporate lessons that you can learn from the book. And I always try to find whether there is something which is similar to the previous books. It's never, because he's so curious. And it's not that he started reading when he retired from his HUL or Tata days, but he has always been a reader, and that's where plenty of knowledge and wisdom that comes, especially because this is like on-the-job training. If you are reading while you are at job, you can actually apply it. Otherwise, what happens if you're not reading? Because we are talking about the corporate leaders per se, because Gen Zs tomorrow will become senior leaders in their organizations and they will represent the leadership teams. I think that content richness will always play the role. It's always important that you should know some subject, so much so that Elon Musk, for example, had no idea how to make rockets. It's just that because he was reading the history of Russia, and that's how he realized that the rocket launchers are in plenty available in the former USSR, many of those countries. That's how he procured the rocket launcher, and that's the base of the financial capability of launching the Star X. So it depends. How do you want to utilize? You never know how it triggers. Slumdog Millionaire is a typical example of being very observation oriented in your life. You never know what you're observing will help you where. You just don't know. It really works, and that's where I read it in a form that I should be making my notes, and it really helps in my work as well. So, for example, if I'm part of an impact fund, I keep reading about the social issues. I keep reading about social ventures. It really helps because I have trained myself to read as much as I can, and from vast subjects, from Manohar Kahaniya to the best and the best of investment banking books. I've trained myself. So that's what my recommendation would be, that for leaders, I think content richness only comes when they read variety of books and have their experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you make such good points. One, of course, with Mr. Gopal Krishnan, I also had the good fortune to meet him many years back. And you're so right that only when you read enough or you read so much, you're able to write, because that almost becomes a prerequisite for someone. You cannot just come on a blank sheet of paper to write. And
if I can give one more example, Nikhil, that comes to my mind is Jairam Ishwaran. He was the former CHRO of Hughes, CEO of Madhyam Advertising, is still on a couple of boards. So he retired and he wrote his first book. Now, before writing, that is remarkable. At that age and stage where the man only needs to play golf, just travel, be easy in life, what he did, he registered himself for a Robert McKee course. Robert McKee is the man who has given the best scripts in the world. So it's most of the directors who have won Oscar awards because of Robert McKee's training. So he registered himself after almost at an age of 60, 61. He went to London, he did the course, and then he wrote the book. His book is about Inside C-suite. So it's about the insecurities that happen in the corporate world and how we do shadow boxing. But the way he has written that book, he understands what the reader would require. In fact, all Gen Zs would gain from a book like this, Inside C-suite, because imagine what a level of preparation he has done. And he himself is a voracious reader. He reads wide variety of subjects. So this example just came to me because many times you have to prepare yourself. You might not be a great writer, but if you have to serve your target audience, you really need to prepare yourself. It's a great example.